So I'm just going to keep knocking it down so it's about 1/4 of an inch down. Try to do the same thing, only cutting it from this side out. Now this might get a little tricky since I've never done it before, but I'm going to give it a try. So I'm going to just gently cut across here like that, and then take a look at what I'm doing. And it looks like I got about 1/8 of an inch. So I'll continue cutting. Well, I got a little slice in there. It didn't work out so good. I'll just keep going. I got a slice in all the way through the thing. This is why maybe you should have your butcher do it. But I thought I'd give it a try. So now what I want to do is I got to get a piece of saran wrap, lay that on top of it and pound it out. Now I'm still from the old school and I called it saran wrap, but saran wrap is an old term for what we call a plastic wrap or a cling wrap, as such as this. Then you take a meat tenderizer, which has these little nibs in it, like that. You'll take the flat side and we're going to pound this out. Starting from the middle and then working out. So you can see it's more than doubled in its size. I'm not going to worry about this. As a matter of fact, I'm going to take this and kind of flap this up a little bit, like that, and then pound it out a little bit more. There we go. Now we're going to add the spices. Let me get my hands wiped off a little bit. Not that I got anything on them, but just want to make sure. So I'm taking some Mrs. Dash, taking some lemon pepper, some ground allspice, very Scandinavian allspice is, and some black pepper. Now, if you guys can, you can put salt on your food, but I'd rather not. That's why I use the Mrs. Dash. But you can always put some salt on, and now I have some garlic powder. And then once again, take the cling wrap and then pound that in. There you go. And now, if you go to one of these stores that has these hot dogs, and I'm not going to name the store, but they have these hot dogs that you can buy, over at the counter you might find some Frank's kraut. Hey, if you're not going to use it on your hot dog, stick it in your pocket and walk out with it, I always say, because all I'm doing is one thing here. I'm just doing one pork chop. So why get a whole doggone thing of kraut when you can just do that? So just stick your knife in there, open it up. Oh, that smells so good. Now we're just going to place it right there on half of this. Get it down on one side of this, and just like you were to roll up an enchilada, you want to take this end here and roll it over this way, and then take this and roll it right up. Now you can tie this up, you can boil it, you can tie it up and put it out on the grill. That's what I'm going to do. But there's all kinds of different ways, and this would be, I would consider this, you know, there's many countries that do something like that. Rouladen it's called, but in Denmark, we do this in Denmark too. I don't know what I do think it's called a roulade, not a rouladen, but a roulade. And just take it out and put it on the grill, or boil it in some hot water, or even bake it. You know, you could put some cheese on it, all kinds of stuff, whatever you want to do. But this is the basic. This is my favorite pork chop. Just came in from out by the grill there, kids, and check this out. Look at how this looks, huh? Ah, man, that looks so good. Wow. Oh, I gotta get that out now. My second favorite thing to use for this meal is some some mushrooms. I'm gonna get the onions in a little bit, but I want to cut these mushrooms up, and I did clean this knife off. And I cleaned off this too. So I just want to cut this into some nice, really fine slivers. Always remember when you're cooking mushrooms, to make sure you have a damp rag and wipe your mushrooms off with a damp rag. Get all the little black spots off of them, little pieces that we don't want to talk about. So I'm cutting this into about 1/16 of an inch. Oh, and by the way, these came from the mushroom farm. If you want to go out on Highway 50, you'll find the mushroom farm out there. And they have kits out there too. If you're interested in growing your own mushrooms and saving some big money. Alright, now we need to get an onion. And with the same little paring knife, I don't know how hard this is going to be, but we're going to give it a shot. Pull off the first 2 layers in case there's any mold on them. About the same thickness, about a 1/16 of an inch. And I chop it up into nice little pieces. Alright, now I'm going to take all this stuff over to the stove. Come on over here. Alright, what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to take some of this Brummel and Brown. This is a butter made with no-fat yogurt. Oh. I'm going to put about a good tablespoon of butter in there. Like that. Melt that down, and then I'm just going to put a little dab of olive oil. Probably a half a teaspoon of olive oil. So once that's all melted, I'm going to take all those mushrooms, get those going in there, along with all the chopped up onions. And we're just going to keep on coating this. Coating it, coating it, coating it. Just let it cook. Right, the temperature's at about medium right now. Alright, so once it's all coated, just put the cover on it, and just keep your eyeball on it so it doesn't burn. Just keep stirring it. So now we got this going pretty good, and I'm just going to cook this so that the juices kind of cook out of this. I'm going to keep stirring it so it doesn't dry, but I'm leaving the top off. So now it's time to add a little bit of Red Hots. Now you don't have to do this. I know I've talked to a lot of kids out there. They say, I don't want to put that jalapeno stuff on there. I keep on telling you, I think I could drink this, but I'm not going to do it. This is good stuff. It's going to add some flavor to it. It's going to add the salt that we're missing. I put about a teaspoon in there. I'm going to continue to stir it. I cannot believe how good this smells. Taking a beer that is made in Carlsberg, Denmark. It's called elephant beer, and I'll put a little bit of this in there. It's about a tablespoonful. And you continue to stir it. So after stirring that for about 3 minutes, I'm going to put in the meat that we have. And you can see it was grilled very nicely. I'm going to nestle it right down inside of there. Put some of the juices over top and some of the onions and mushrooms, and then cover it up. And about every 3 minutes I'm going to check it out, and if it needs to have a little bit more juice in it, I'll add a little bit more of that beer. Because it's just going to steam it, all the alcohol is going to go, but the flavor is going to be there. So I'll see you back in just a little bit. So after about 10 minutes, kids, we're ready to plate this baby up. So there's my favorite pork chop meal.
I'm just going to cut this acorn squash in half. We're going to scoop, Bella's going to scoop the seeds out, and we're going to put it face down or cut side down on the cookie sheet.
Maybe we can crack it up in half now. Now
Okay.
remember, kids, always keep the seeds.
Why?
Because you can grow your own.
Oh, you can. So do you dry these seeds then, Bella? Just let them...
No, just in the spring, plant them, and in the summer and in the winter, keep them in let them have lots of sunlight and lots of water.
Push it hard. Okay, push it hard. That's right. Scoop it out. You know, another thing you could do is just wash these off and then roast them.
The seeds?
Yeah.
And then eat them? Like pumpkin seeds?
I don't know. We'd have to Google that and see if it's okay to eat squash seeds.
Google it, nothing. We'll just do it.
No! No, you don't want to get sick.
Oh, okay.
You want to find out for sure.
Yeah, if they say no, then they would know that you might get sick.
Oh.
Ta-da! Okay, now Bella's gonna take some butter, some real butter, on her hands. Not all of it, just some. And you're gonna rub it all over the potato. Oh, that's a little thick. You wanna pick up the potato now in both your hands. Just kind of all over. That's it. All sides. Make that butter go all over the whole thing. Good. That looks good. Can you put it on there? There. Now we got goopy heads.
Well, we're all set, kids.
Yep.
We're all set. We're going to put everything in the oven. The oven's set at 350 degrees. It just beeped at us. It's hot. We're going to put all of it in now. Whoops, sorry. Did I get you on the leg?
There we go.
Put that in there. Potatoes and squash. We're going to be doing this for a good hour. We're going to check it out after about an hour. If we have to go a little bit longer, we'll go a little bit longer. So that's it. So we'll see you back in about an hour.
Good.
Wow, look at all this great food. Oh, she's dishing them out. She's dishing
I'm
them
not
out.
having one.
You want to split one? Her? Oh, whoop.
I don't want.
This is
Oh,
Papa's favorite.
that's my rouladen.
I won't have any.
And this is Bella's with apple in it. And this is my favorite with onion and ketchup. What are you eating? This is pork.
And you have the same
And
thing
you
as
want this
Grandma.
one? And if you want, you can have the rest of this good stuff.
Time to dig in. Squash tastes like candy. Oh, I forgot I have string inside.
Oh.
Holding this whole thing together. This is good. This is a roulade.
No way, Jose.
See, my roulade has sauerkraut inside of it. And the German one is Danish one is I like
That's your way of doing it.
That's hot.
This was supposed to be in the oven for just an hour.
Well, there you go, kids. That is our New Year's Day, our favorite meal food. You just got to remember to keep your eyeball on everything that you put in the oven. Make sure it doesn't get too well done. Then Bella's got a little bit too well done because the apples didn't produce enough juice in hers.
Well, it's because when you butterfly something, then this is just like a half a size of the ones of these, and so they're going to cook in half the time. So that's why this got much more done.
But mine, with the sauerkraut inside of it, is very juicy because it was boiled in the beer. Well, Bella couldn't have that, but she probably could have. But
I can have beer.
anyhow, hey, it's a new year. It's a new time. We don't know what's going to happen with the Car 25. There's been some talk of shutting it down in this next year, and Uncle Thom's Kitchen might not be on, along with many other shows. But from my family, from Dorie and from Bella, from Phoebe and myself, we just want to wish you, if we don't see you next year, a very happy new year, and we hope everything goes as well as you want it to go this next year. So from all of us, we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Mine's really good. I got some olive oil.
Oh.
How about some aqua?